Today, we're digging into Cencora's latest earnings report. And let me tell you, it's way more than just numbers. What we're really seeing here is a huge strategic shift for this healthcare giant. So Cencora is a massive player right in the middle of the healthcare system. They're the critical link between drug makers and places like hospitals and pharmacies. But in a market that's changing this fast, just being big isn't enough, and they know it. They're making some really bold moves. You don't have to take my word for it. The company's own CEO, Bob Mauch, called fiscal 2025 a pivotal year. Now that's a very strong word, right? It signals a real fundamental change. So let's break down what that actually means, starting with the incredible financial results that gave them the confidence to do all this. Okay, so here's the crucial point. Cencora didn't just meet expectations, they absolutely smashed them with some serious growth. This financial firepower gave them the foundation and, honestly, the guts to make some big changes. The headline number that jumps right out is a powerful 16% growth, and that's in both adjusted operating income and earnings per share for the full year. For a company of this sheer scale, hitting double-digit growth like this, that's a massive achievement. So what fueled that growth? Well, how about staggering revenues, hitting over $321 billion for the year? That's a jump of more than 9% from the year before, which tells you demand was strong pretty much across the board. But the real engine behind these results? That was their U.S. healthcare segment. I mean, get this. Its profits surged by an incredible 25% in the fourth quarter alone. That shows you just how much momentum they've got in their most important market. Now, what's really interesting here is how this table breaks things down. You've got the official GAAP numbers on the left and the adjusted numbers on the right. Both look good for sure, but that adjusted column, which kind of strips out all the one-time noise, tells a much clearer story. A story of really robust, double-digit growth in their core day-to-day business. And this incredible performance wasn't just a result, it was a catalyst. It gave Cencora the leverage and the perfect opportunity to make a really bold strategic move, sharpening its focus to concentrate on what it truly does best. So what they did was a complete top-to-bottom review of every single business they own. The big question was, what truly fits our long-term, pharma-focused mission, and what might be better off somewhere else? And this led to a major reorganization. They're basically doubling down on their core pharmaceutical services. Meanwhile, other really strong businesses like MWI Animal Health are now being looked at for a potential sale or partnership. The whole idea is to focus all their energy on their main mission. And the game plan here is pretty simple and really strategic. Put your money, your time, and your best people into the areas that are going to drive the most significant long-term growth. It's all about making smarter, more concentrated bets. So with this new, sharper focus, where exactly is Cencora placing its bets? Well, the answer is crystal clear. They are going all in and making huge investments in the fastest growing and most complex part of the market, specialty pharmaceuticals. Their entire strategy now revolves around dominating in specialty pharmaceuticals. And that makes sense, because this is where the action is. We're talking about the biggest trends in medicine, personalized cancer treatments, gene therapies, you name it. This is the high-value market for complex drugs, and Cencora wants to own it. A huge part of this specialty strategy is their MSO platform. Think of it this way. Cencora basically partners with big physician groups like Retina Consultants of America and OneOncology and just handles all the complicated business stuff. Billing, admin, logistics, all of it. This lets doctors focus purely on treating patients. And to prove just how serious they are, they're backing this strategy with some major cash. A massive $1 billion investment is planned through 2030, all to upgrade the supply chain they need to support this big push into specialty. Now, this isn't just about building bigger warehouses. Nope, it's about building smarter ones. Specifically, this money is going to fund a second national distribution center and add way more specialized cold chain storage. And that is absolutely critical for the next generation of medicines, the biologics and specialty drugs that have to be kept at exactly the right temperature. So what does all this add up to? You've got strong results, a sharper focus, and huge investments. What does that mean for the company and its investors? Well, it means a much more confident and, frankly, a much higher outlook for the future. Cencora is so confident in this new focused strategy that they've gone ahead and officially increased their long-term growth forecast. This is them sending a direct signal to the market, saying, hey, we believe our plan is going to deliver some seriously superior results. And this chart illustrates that change perfectly. They've boosted their expected long-term operating income growth from a range of 5 to 8% up to a higher, more aggressive 6 to 9% a year. It's a clear vote of confidence in their own strategy. And that confidence translates directly to the bottom line for shareholders. They're now projecting some really impressive long-term earnings per share growth, somewhere in that 9 to 13% range. All right, so after digging through all the financials and the strategy, what's the big takeaway from Cencora's pivotal year? What does this all really mean when you boil it down? It's really a clear four-step story. They used a year of incredible financial results as a launchpad. From there, they streamlined the company, doubled down on the high-stakes world of specialty medicine, and then confidently told the world to expect even more from them in the future. Ultimately, Cencora isn't just sitting back and reacting to change. It's making some really decisive moves to shape its own future. And that leaves us with one final thought. By shedding parts of its past to bet big on specialty, is this pivotal year the beginning of a whole new era of leadership for Cencora in this rapidly evolving healthcare landscape?